What's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Just Maya, and by the title of this video you already know that I'm going to be giving you guys a story time. Gave a story time on my channel all year and literally in a long time in general. A couple of my story times are doing like really good on my channel. I'll probably leave a link up here. I'll probably drop it in some screenshots, I don't know, but they're doing really good on the channel. So I thought, why not give you guys a story time that I have been recording. Y'all, I'm not even lying, I'm not kidding. I record this video maybe like 2 or 3 times, but I always like not post it or delete it because I just don't feel like, I just didn't want to like put that out there. But you know, I'm at that place now where I'm just like, it is what it is, and it's okay for me to put it up there. Yes, I'm gonna be telling you guys about my racist coworker. If you want to stay tuned, go ahead and get your chips, your drink, your soda, your water, whatever it is. Sit down, relax, get comfortable, and let's go ahead and get to the story time. But before we get into the story time, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. So in order for this story time to make sense, let me give you guys like a background on what kind of happened, and you guys can kind of understand everything. This story time literally took place maybe like 2 or 3 years ago when I was working at my last job. The star of the show is going to be named Sarah. That's what her name is going to be. We're going to call her Sarah. When I first started working at this job in Nashville, we were traveling back and forth to Florida. I really didn't know Sarah like that. I mean, I seen her, but I didn't know her like that. So one day, one of our co-workers had messaged me, "Hey Maya, are you coming back to Nashville on Thursday or whatever?" And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, because I'm about to catch a flight, but I left Sarah's shoes at the office. Can you bring them with you when you come down? And I was like, yeah, of course, I'll do that. Sarah ended up coming by my desk like that next day or whatever, and she was just like, "Hey Maya, did Amy tell you to get my shoes from the office?" And so I was like, oh, I forgot. Dang, I forgot them in Florida. And so she was just like, "Oh my God, Maya, no, I didn't bring any shoes to work because I was planning on wearing those. I thought you brought them, whatever." So I was like, "No, I'm just kidding. I got your shoes," or whatever, you know, just joking with her. So I was like, "No, I'm just kidding. I got your shoes." So she was like, "Oh Maya, you play too much. Oh my God, you funny. You got me, girl. And you lied with a straight face," whatever. That's how me and her literally became cool. Over the next like couple of weeks or months, Sarah would come by my desk and talk to me, or I would go by her desk and talk to her. We would just, you know, talk about our weekend. Keep in mind, several people will come to me and be like, "Do not trust Sarah. Do not tell her anything." I guess like in Nashville, the accounting world is very small, and a lot of people work with a lot of people. So like when we all started this job, I came from South Carolina, so I didn't know anybody, but people who were living in Nashville and got the job, they knew other people because they used to work at their previous job with some of the other people. So they all kind of like knew each other from previous jobs. So they would come to me and be like, "Hey, listen, I'm just gonna let you know, I don't trust Sarah. Watch out for her." This one guy, I remember, he came to my desk. He's like, "Listen, I see that you and Sarah be talking, and you know, you my dog, and I'm just gonna let you know that, you know, she get people in trouble and she do this." You know, he was just basically, you know, warning me and stuff. You can't trust them, you can't trust them, you can't trust them. Me, I'm that type of person that's like, I don't go by what people say. I go by like what I see personally, and that's how I judge people. So Sarah really wasn't giving me any bad vibes, and I honestly just thought Sarah was like kind of like misunderstood because she was like that quirky white lady, like who says off the wall things, kind of, who like weird, you know. She was like that type of woman, and I just thought like, okay, maybe people just find her weird or whatever, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be mean like that. Before we get into like what really happened, to give y'all a better understanding of Sarah, here's a couple of things that happened that I feel like people were like getting annoyed about her and saw that I was still talking to her, and I guess they felt like, listen, you know, you need to watch out. No, it was one day we had like this team meeting where everybody, well, this office meeting where everybody would gather around in this common area, and we would either do like birthdays for the month, you know, and just tell everybody happy birthday and play like trivia games. Our friend Amy was from Africa. So Amy came into the meeting and she didn't have her shoes on. I guess because she just got up from her desk and, you know, walked right over. Our director was like, Amy, where your shoes at? Sarah was like, you know, you should be used to it because that's how they walk around in Africa. She said something like that, but it was along those lines. So me and the other 6 black people that was in the office, we all look at each other like, I don't even think Amy really took offense to it because honestly, I never really heard her say anything about it or, you know, mention it or anything. But so I can't really speak for Amy. So I don't know if she did or because Sarah was Amy's manager as well. Maybe I felt like Sarah knew how Amy was and probably just didn't take offense to it. And that's honestly how I felt too. Like, I mean, I didn't feel like that in that moment. I was just like, why the hell would she say that? But I kind of felt like Sarah in general was a person who just said weird things, you know, like that. And that's how I was thinking at the time when I was friends with Sarah. But when she said that, I was like, whoa, like what the hell? But anyways, let me tell y'all what really happened. It's December, it's Christmas time, and I'm about to take a vacation to go to New York. I was talking to my set behind me. Me and her was just talking about my trip to New York, and I was just telling her like I'm so excited. I've never been to New York before. This is gonna be so fun. Sarah walks by as I'm talking to Jay. I guess she overheard the conversation, so she was like, oh, you're going to New York? So I was just like, yeah, you know, I'm happy. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to New York for Christmas. It's my first time and I'm just so excited. Sarah then proceeds to say, are you gonna visit the Trump Tower? Literally, that question caught me off guard because first of all, why would that be the first thing you asked me? Second of all, does it look like I want to go visit the fucking Trump Towers? So I was just like, why would I visit the Trump Tower? So Sarah proceeds to say, oh, you don't like Trump? And in that moment, I felt like she was just trying to bait me into a conversation that I just did not want to have. I didn't really have the knowledge to speak on what I felt. Like I couldn't argue back like, well, Trump didn't do this, Trump did this, you know, and that's just me being real. Like I didn't have that type of knowledge to argue with her. I just know I didn't like him. I felt like he was racist. I see what I see in the media, but as far as going over like what he done and what he didn't done, I honestly didn't have that knowledge. So I wasn't about to debate back and forth with her. And plus we was in a work setting and that just was not appropriate. And I was just like, do you like Trump? Sarah said, yes, I like Trump. Trump is of God. That's when I was just like, yeah, let me exit this conversation and sit down. Jay started like, and Jay was like totally like a smart girl. Like she knew everything. She was older. She was in her 30s. But like she really was like arguing back with Sarah about why she don't like Trump. Jay was a white girl. And she was just arguing back with Sarah why she don't like Trump. And so they going back and forth or whatever. And so I'm just at my computer like just working. Like I'm not trying to get into that or whatever, right? So as I'm leaving, I did the same thing that I do every day. Like I told Jay bye. I went by this other girl that I'm just going to call her Panda. I went by Panda Desk. And when I went to Panda Desk, guess who's sitting at Panda Desk? Sarah. So Sarah is sitting at Panda's desk. And I'm just like, Sarah never be at Panda's desk. Why is Sarah at Panda's desk? Like, Sarah's a manager, y'all. Why is she sitting at Panda's desk? Panda's not even on Sarah's team. So why is she? It was just weird. So I went up to the desk. I was like, hey, y'all, I'm about to go. I'm about to, you know, leave. I just wanted to tell y'all bye. Sarah leans over into Panda and gonna tell Panda, oh, Maya don't like me because I like Trump. She's mad with me because I like Trump. So I was like, what? I was like, that's not true. I never said that. That's not true, Panda. Sarah stands up and was like, so, I mean, why don't you like Trump? I mean, do you like Obama? I was just like, do you like Obama? Like, I was like, no, I don't like Obama. Like, Obama would not be somebody who I would want my sons to be like. So I said this. I said, on that note, good night, you guys. I hope you guys have a nice night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I left. Panda, to me, looked so uncomfortable doing that whole ordeal, as did I, because I was just like, why would you do that? Why would you? It was just weird, y'all. Very weird. The next day, literally, I forgot about that whole thing. I mean, it wasn't on my mind. I went to work and I'm working. So I'm at my desk and I'm working. Next thing I know, I heard a loud on my desk. So I turned, I'm just like, and it's, y'all know who it is. Like, it's no need in me even saying who it was, because y'all know who it was. Like, Sarah. I'm just looking at her like, the fuck wrong with you? Sarah was like, hey girl, you're not gonna speak today? Don't tell me you mad about yesterday. You're not gonna speak today? I was like, hey, Sarah, I'm working. Hey, I'm not upset, I'm working. And so she was like, oh, I just want to make sure we good. I thought you was going to be upset today. After she did that, y'all, I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to conversate with her like that, because I feel like she's taking that Trump conversation out of proportion when I should be the one taking it out of proportion, if you want me to be honest. Second of all, I didn't even give her anything for her to even think that I dislike her because she liked Trump. All I did was ask her question back to her. I ain't say Trump ain't shit, which he ain't. I ain't even saying nothing like that. I just asked her, do you like Trump? Like, why you asking me that? Why you gonna ask Jay that? Maybe a couple of days go by, I wasn't really going over to her desk. I did not go over to the desk. It wasn't really. I was not going over to her desk. I don't think she was coming over to my coffee station, which was working perfectly fine for me because I didn't want to see her. It was one morning, like early in the mornings, I usually go talk to one of my other co-workers. Her name was, I'm just gonna give her Jay. I used to go talk to Jay in the morning, and we'd just, chit chat before we start our day. Jay's desk was kind of on the side where Sarah was at, but it was nowhere near Sarah's desk. So I'm talking to Jay, and I'm literally in a conversation with Jay. Me and her talk. It was a good conversation. I feel like that conversation was pretty good. So I'm in the conversation talking to Jay. We just talked out talking. Y'all, tell me why Sarah, I didn't even see her come in, comes, pushed my shoulder, and was like, hey girl. I look at her like, I don't even think I said anything, because I'm surprised that pushed me. Because listen, if we would have been outside and you would have pushed me, they would have been lifting you up off that ground and into the stretcher on the way to the hospital. Me and Jay made eye contact, and Jay was like, like, don't. So she was like, hey, you're not gonna speak to me today? You're not gonna speak? So y'all, I literally just said, hey, now she's making it awkward to me, because first of all, I'm not obligated to speak to you. You're not my manager. I'm not on your team. We don't do the same shit. I don't have to talk to you for nothing. Like, that night, while we was leaving work, Jay told me she had to tell me something. So when me and Jay was walking to our car that night, Jay was like, I'm just going to let you know that she came by my desk. Sarah came by my desk, and Sarah asked me why you were mad at her, why you weren't talking to her. And I basically told her, I ain't know nothing about that. You don't talk to me about it. She need to talk to you. If she feel like it's an issue, she need to talk to you, or whatever the case may be. I told Jay, I was like, it's just annoying me, because first it was Panda. Now she coming to you telling you this. I don't know who else she's telling this to, but it's kind of becoming annoying because you telling people this stuff, and I don't know what you're telling them, but I don't want nobody to think that I don't like you because you like Trump, and then they feel like I'm not gonna like them because if they like Trump, like, y'all feel me? That's kind of what was annoying me. I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna say anything to her. It's just best if I just stay clear of her. I'm just gonna ignore her, whatever. The next day was the Christmas party that our company had. We basically, at the Christmas party, everybody sitting down eating at the table. Sarah just walked directly by the table, and she went to another table. So one of our other co-workers was like, why Sarah ain't sit over here? Which honestly, even though a lot of people wasn't feeling Sarah, it just made sense for her to sit with the accounting team, because everybody in accounting kind of, sat together a little bit. But she sat with a whole different, I don't know if it was like finance or tax people. I don't know who she sat with, but she sat with someone different. Panda turns to me and was like, oh yeah, so Sarah told me that she just didn't want to sit over here because she feel like you don't like her because of that Trump stuff, and she just feel like, you dislike her. And so everybody at the table was just looking like, what? So, everybody had their little say-so to say, like, Maya, don't worry about it, or whatever. That woman crazy. Just leave it alone. But y'all, deep inside, I was boiling. I just didn't say nothing. I was just like, I was not trying to say anything about it, but I was pissed off because I was just like, now everybody at the table know. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knew in general, but it's just the fact that Sarah, it was not even, this really was not nothing for you to even, it was just too much for me, y'all. As we're walking, me and Jay were talking, because we was walking back to the office because we was going back to work. Jay, I'm just gonna go talk to my manager about it. I think I need to tell him what I know. I don't want her to get me in trouble with my job, and she's a manager at the end of the day. I just was not feeling the whole situation. So I ended up going to talk to my manager. I basically explained the whole entire situation to him. I told him about her hitting me, and I was just like, you know, it just making me feel very uncomfortable. Matter of fact, me even talking to him was uncomfortable because he's a white man, and you know, me even mentioning like the Trump stuff, I just felt very icky. And the reason why I felt very icky as well is because like this was during the era where all that stuff was going on, like with the Black Lives Matter, the protest. This is when all of this was going on, so everybody was on 10 about conversations like that. These conversations were very sensitive, so that's why I just felt very icky about even mentioning that to this white man. It was like, you know, do you want me to tell the director? And I was like, no, you know, I don't want her to get in trouble or get fired or anything. I just want her to stop, because it's becoming like it's becoming borderline harassment to me. That's what I felt. I felt like I was harassed. God damn it. I don't know what it was, but it just felt weird. Like, she just need to leave me alone. He had a conversation with her. He ended up coming back to me, and he told me that, you know, she said she didn't mean it like that, and she was just, you know, crying and stuff like that. And he was just like, he just think that maybe, you know, I overreacted over it, or something like that. And he was like, that's why, you know, we shouldn't talk politics. And I was like, I didn't talk politics. I didn't bring politics up at all. She did, and she's a manager. So what? I'm not even gonna sit here and lie, y'all. I just have like a soft heart, and I felt very bad. So I called my mom, and I told my mom everything that happened. My mom was like, you know what, maybe, you know, you should like go talk to her and kind of like explain your reasoning, because I think my mom felt bad about it too. Later on that night, you know, before I left, I pulled, as Sarah can we talk, pulled Sarah into the office, and y'all, Sarah immediately started acting like she was about to cry and stuff. She was like, I just really wish you would have came to me about it, and not your manager. I was like, Sarah, you should have came to, first of all, you should have came to me. You went to everybody else telling them you felt like I didn't like them because you support Trump. How do you think that makes me look? Like, I don't have no family up here. If anything happened with this job, I'm gonna be shit out of luck. My home is 9 hours away, and you're doing this, and it's making me look bad. Like, what you mean I should have came to you? You should have never mentioned it at all. And as a manager, you should have never brought up politics. Like, am I crazy here? Remember I told you guys how my desk had a coffee machine like near it, then there was one in the middle, and then one on the other end of the building, other side of the building, and Sarah's desk was closer to the one in the middle. Sarah told me that the reason why she comes to my coffee desk is because she feel like she is connected to me in some type of way, and something is drawing her over there to the coffee machine near me, and she just needs to see me every day, and that's why she come by the coffee thing and try to start a conversation. Very weird, y'all. But then also in the back of my mind, I was just thinking like, I'm just gonna chalk it up as maybe she's just emotional right now, and she's just trying to say something so I won't be mad at her. I don't know, but it was very weird, y'all. I was like, you know what? I am a very forgiving person. I'm just gonna like forgive her. Maybe, you know, even though what she did was fucked up, I'm gonna forgive her, and I'm just going to like move past the situation. Because the one thing I did not want nobody to think that I'm an angry black woman at this job. I just did not want that type of stereotype on me. I'll be calm, you know, I'll still talk to her or whatever like that. This is when it gets really freaking crazy. So after all of that, you would think Sarah would have enough sense to watch what she say and watch what she do. But you know what? You know, Sense has been chasing Sarah for a long time, but she's way faster. Sarah is out running Sense, and she's been doing it all of her life. So I don't think Sense will never catch up with her ever in her life in general, and that's on period. It was one day I was over there with Amy and Sarah. I was telling them that I was going out to go get me something from like Logan's or something. So Amy was like, oh, I want to join, and Sarah's like, I want to join too. So I was like, oh, okay, I can join, you know. So towards the end of the day, when I walked over there, Amy was like, dang, I can't go again because I got a lot of work. And Sarah was like, I'm still going, or whatever like that. I'll follow you. So I was like, okay, cool. So me and Sarah head to Logan's. We're at Logan's, and you know, Sarah ordered her a drink, and then we ordered our food. So I ordered me a steak. So they asked me how did I want my steak, and I said I want my steak medium. Yeah, I said I want my steak medium. So Sarah was like, medium? And I was like, yeah, medium. There's more flavor in it, you know? And so she was just like, wow, black people normally get well done. I would never think that you would get medium. I thought you were gonna get well done. I was just like, not all black people want their steak well done, Sarah. Then, you know, as the night goes on, you know, she was like, you know, I really like hanging with black people because y'all are just more fun. Y'all don't really care. Y'all just, you know, let loose. You know, white people are just more stuck up, and you know, y'all, you know, you guys have a good time. Y'all be around each other, and I see that. So then that's when she was just like, you know what, it was this one time that me and my sons were going to church, and we was trying to find a church. We just wanted to do something spontaneous. We wanted to find a church one Sunday, and we was just driving on the road, and we saw a church, and we stopped at the church, and guess what, it was a black church. I was just like, okay, like, and she was like, they were very inviting to us. The women were all dressed up in their garments. Like, y'all really dress down for church when y'all go to church. Like, y'all really put on like fancy stuff when y'all go to church. But at the end of the service, they had served food. But guess what they served? And I was like, what? So Sarah was like, fried chicken and watermelon. And I feel like she was being fucking funny, y'all. So I was just like, Sarah, okay, you know, like, you know, okay. And as we're like, as the conversation is going, this group of black women came in, and like, you know, when they came in, they were like a little loud laughing or whatever, but it was nothing really bad. When they came in, Sarah turned around and looked back at them as she eating a drink, and she keep turning around looking back at them. Like, y'all keep turning around looking back at them, smiling and laughing and stuff, like while she's talking and stuff. And I'm just looking at her like, I don't know what the hell she doing. Finally, she was like, I have a question. What? And so she was just like, is that their real hair? And she was like, is that their real hair? And she just turned around looking laughing. I said, Sarah, if those girls come to this table and ask you, do you got a problem? You're on your own. I'm not going to help you. And they will beat your ass. Like, they will beat your ass because you're turning around, smiling and laughing. And a lot of people be thinking that you're talking about them or you got a problem. So I suggest you to stop. You know, I told her straight like that. And so she's like, oh, no. I was just asking. And I was just like, yeah. And what makes you think that's not their real hair? And so she was just like, no, I was just wondering because, you know, black girls, y'all know y'all can do so many different styles. And like one day it's short, one day it's long. So I just didn't know. And I was just asking, you know, I just didn't know. And I was like, yeah, okay. So then here's like when like the final straw happened. We was sitting down talking, and then the conversation came up on politics again. Don't ask me how, because this keeps bringing it up when I'm with her. So politics came up again, and so she started talking about Michelle Obama, and she called Michelle Obama ugly. So I was like, hold up. I said, no. Michelle Obama is not ugly. What are you talking about? So she was like, Maya, you look way better than Michelle Obama. Like, she is ugly. Like, her face is just, her nose is really big. Her face is like, you know, it's just, like, she just looks like, I was like, what does she look like? You know, I'm waiting on her to say, I'm like, what does she look like? And so I told her, I said, I was about to say her name. I said, Sarah, you really have to learn what you, like, you really have to stop being ignorant on certain things. Some of the stuff you say is very ignorant and can be very offensive and come off as racist. I'm not sure if you mean it like that, but that is how it's coming off. And the way how you're talking about Michelle Obama, she has very strong African features, but that does not make her ugly. That actually makes her beautiful. And when you talk about her like that, you're talking about me like that. So, and she's like, no, Maya, you're different. Like, you know, she's trying to explain. I was like, no, Sarah, like, you're being borderline racist. Like, some of the stuff you're saying is very ignorant, and you're saying it to a black woman at the end of the day. Like, do you not see your audience? Are you crazy? So I was like, I'm about to go to the bathroom. Y'all went to the bathroom. I literally had to calm down. Like, I literally had to calm down because I was just like, this. Like, I felt like all night she was just pressing my buttons. And it was just getting on my nerve because I also in the back of my head, I was like, I know she's just going to go twist this some type of way to somebody because she's going to make it seem like I'm just getting angry over nothing. But the stuff that she was saying was just borderline fucking rude. So when I went back to the table, I was just like, I'm ready to go. I'm about to get the check. And she was like, okay, you know, I guess she kind of felt my energy. We both got our stuff, left, and while I was gone, she sent me the text message. She's like, you know what, let's try to keep politics out of it. I really like you as a friend, and I think whenever we talk about politics, like, it always go left, and I don't want to lose our friendship. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, you keep bringing this up. Why can't we just go to dinner and have a conversation where it does not even have to deal nothing about race? Unless you really, if you really want to talk about race, let's really fucking talk about it. And let's be like 100% honest about it and the roles that you play and your privilege. Let's talk about it. But it was just, oh. After that, I cut Sarah off. I did not talk to her like that. And what's so crazy is, during those months when I first met Sarah up until December, from like July to December, Sarah used to tell me so much about herself, like her husband, her divorce, how this lady literally got shunned out of a church. I've never heard somebody get shunned out of a church. That thing said, come as you are. We welcome all. How are you not welcome to a church? How you get shunned? And you know, now that I sit and think about it, this woman is a walking problem. She's a walking problem, literally. Like, it's her. Something is wrong with her, like, literally. And I see why everybody was trying to warn me. And I guess that's what I get for being naive, giving people chances, because I should have cut her off when she did all that stuff in the office, telling people I didn't like her about Trump. But honestly, you guys, that lady is she's just a problem, and she has an ignorant mind, and that's somebody who I would never want to associate myself with ever in life again. The last thing I heard from her about her was when we all started working from home, and this lady had joined the team, and she was just saying how she just did not like Sarah because Sarah made this comment. I guess Sarah must be thought, because the lady was white and Sarah was white, that they would have some common ground on why black people need to be included more into the office, or be included more in higher up positions, or whatever it was. And Sarah just felt like, why? That's so unfair. Like, why do we need to be included, or whatever like that? And I guess that woman was not feeling that. She was just like, Sarah's just very ignorant. She needs to pay attention to what she said, and she's racist. And so I know if somebody white is saying that about somebody white, then it's true. So that's the end of my racist story time. I hope I didn't keep you guys long, but that's the story time about how my coworker was racist. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I really didn't like talking about it, because it just puts me in the place back to where I was, and I just don't want Sarah nowhere in my aura. I just don't want her there. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy it. I will see you guys in our next video, and peace.